I'm wondering if it's the computer camera that's broken. Or at least it's okay now, but a second ago it was acting up. But anyway, this is the computer webcam. But yes, I've had a very stern word with my sister, basically shouting her and saying that she's obviously mentally ill if she goes with this deal. Even my uncle wouldn't go for it, and yeah, she thinks she can save up 5,000, 15,000 by Christmas, and I was just like, well, you do realize you got a £5,000 service charge. I was doing my best to convince her, and it affects me. I don't care if she goes into this deal and loses everything, but right now I do, because right now I'm so poor that I don't feel like I can afford winter bills and stuff. And so the idea that I can go to Sophie's flat, I was thinking about doing that. Now that she's got a kid, I have more reason to. I can go to her flat and babysit her kids in return for them paying bills or something. I can find out what their child arrangement is, and maybe offer to be a childminder for a couple of days a week in return for not having to pay towards the bills, or maybe I should pay towards the bills. I know if I'm going on holiday for a month, I'll probably give them £1 a day to run my fish tank whilst I'm away, because I don't trust. I wouldn't want to leave my fish tank away if I'm going for a month. If I'm going for like a whole month, I wouldn't want to leave my fish tank for 30 days. But then again, I don't know if I can really trust my sister. My sister's not competent, so I don't know if I would even trust her to look after a fish tank. But I might trust her and my mum. But yeah, I do not. I don't have high hopes. She's not very good at being reliable. But anyway, it's very important that she keeps the two flats. Why? Because they're together, and because Sophie, she's even lied to the bank. She lied to the bank and said that the one-bedroom flat is available for rent, and it's not available for rent. She's going to have it for, she's promised it to my mum for another 2 years, and the only way she was able to remortgage it is if she, told them that she was able to rent it out and make money on it, and she can't do that. My mum is also being a part of a carer, and so she's just really not thinking of the kids. She's not thinking of anything, and she also told me that she needs to do it. Why? Because she's planning on, or she's thinking about quitting her job. No, that's a reason not to do it. If the banks are only willing to lend you this money providing you have a job, we'll only give you this money if you give us 3 months of paycheck, and that paycheck is basically to help guarantee that, if the tenants that move in there don't pay the rent, you can through your income, through your salary. But she's actually thinking that the reason why she wants this is because she wants to quit her job and then just live off the money. So what, you have £5,000 of service charge, which goes up 6% each year. You've got council tax, which is like £2,000 a year, because you're in a sort of higher band than what I'm in, and you don't have the single occupancy, although she might be getting the single occupancy, because I think her partner is claiming to have one flat and she's claiming to have the other, so she might, but she's got kids, so I don't know if she would be able to claim for the single occupancy if she does it that way. But she's thinking that it's fine to lie as much as you can, to borrow as much money as you can, when in reality the only reason why they would lend this her money is because of the lies that she's telling, and if they knew the truth, they wouldn't lend it to her, because they know that she's going to end up not paying it back, and maybe they don't care, and it's made me wonder, is this the reason why there's such a high immigration? Because the billionaire's plan is to just invite as many people into the country as possible. These people are going to put on a nice suit, dress up, get a job for a couple of months, say, hey, I can pay for the rent for the next 2 years because I've got the job, it pays this much, when in reality they might hate the job. They might be planning on leaving the second they move into that flat, and they're going to basically maybe pay the first month and then just not pay again. And if you've got a country full of decent people who are honest people that are trying to do the best and pay off agreements, if they're taking out, if they're renting out a flat or renting a flat out, and they stick to their arrangements. But some migrants are not going to be like that. Some are going to be great. You know, I'm not saying that migrants are bad, but some migrants are going to pay the rent and stick by the rules, and some are not. And I'm wondering if the reason why there's such a high immigration is because the part of the sort of housing market scam, which is the bankers loan out huge amounts of money to people who believe that they can do things when they can't, people who are mentally ill. My sister is actually mentally ill. Like she's not, doesn't think logically or rationally, and you know, to think that I'm going to take out £400,000 of loans so that I can quit my job and then just live off the rent money that I get, when, okay, one of the flats can't be rented out because my mum's agreed to, because she's agreed to let my mum live there for 2 years, and the other flat can't be rented out because she's got 2 kids and she's living in it, and okay, she's renting out one of the rooms, but that's only going to be for a year or two, and then to think that there's going to be a whole nother house, and okay, yeah, she might make money off the rent on that, and okay, she's got half this, but she's not thinking at all. And I think if I was to go to America and then sell the Birmingham house, give her the 90,000, if she was to use that money to take out a loan, I don't care. I think she's going to fuck it up, and she's going to end up with nothing, and she's going to repossess her 1 bedroom and have a huge mortgage on a new house. And if she does all of this when I'm in America living my life, you know, I would kind of, in a way, I'd kind of see that as justice. You know, I've gone through a stage where I was in a tiny studio flat, stressed out over why no one was talking to me, but why I seemed to be connecting, or why songs seemed to be linking to me, and she was just living not a high life, but living a much better life, you know, having a flat that I couldn't afford, having that go up. You know, she was living a much better life than me, and she didn't care about me. So if the tables turn and it was the other way around, I go off to America, never come back. It's funny, in the Clueless film, the rich banker lawyer described his parents as low lifes, and I don't know what the word was, but yeah, horrible low lives or whatever, those good for nothing low lives or something. And I was just like, yeah, that's how I feel about my family. They don't do it. I've been trying to contact my mum all day. Her phone's not working. I managed to get through to my dad, and I told him, can you put the phone on to her, because I want to talk to her. And he basically fell asleep, and it sounded like he couldn't even bother to turn his phone off. So I was screaming down the phone, where are you, Rose? I had to turn the phone off, call him again and said, why didn't you give it to Linda? And he did, but apparently my mum was eating, and he didn't bother telling me. He just kind of put the phone on the side, and yeah, he's in his own world. He doesn't care. He doesn't care that Sophie's about to lose everything. But he should care. Why? Because he's the one who's living in that flat, and if the only reason why Sophie's able to get remortgaged the flat is so that she can rent it out when she can't rent it out because he is living there, because he works around the corner from. He works very close to this place, so you know it does benefit him. He doesn't want Sophie to remortgage this flat, so that in a couple of years' time, when she falls into debt, she's going to have to sell the house just to, you know, he doesn't want that. And Sophie's delusional, thinking that she will be able to pay off the mortgage whilst quitting her job in a couple of weeks' time. I mean, I'm hoping she doesn't quit, or if she does, she finds a job first. But she's not thinking straight, and she's too busy thinking that she's better and that her decisions are good, and I don't know, but I'm hoping my mum will put some sense into her, but I don't think she will, because I think my mum's actually very in favour of this idea. You know, it'd be like me saying I want to be a singer. Oh yeah, just go off and do it. Yeah, you can do it. Go off there. And it's just completely unrealistic on what's possible and what's not and stuff. And so yeah, I need to tell my mum that it's 100% not possible, that she's not going to be able to pay off this mortgage, especially not if she's planning on quitting her job, so that she won't even be able to pay off things like the service charge and the council tax and the loan that she's already got and stuff. And I will not let her take out this mortgage whilst I'm still poor. Why? Because I would want to live in her flat during the winter months. But yeah, if she wants to do this after, then I don't care. But I won't let. I'm going to do my best to stop her from doing it now. But yes, I also want to. There it is. Got these little chargers. So you put the batteries in this, and see that light there? You can't see it, but they're charged up by these. So you put this in the solar panel thing that I've got, and it charges them up, and then you stick the battery inside that, and you get quite a nice, it looks very dim in this room, but it's not actually that dim. It is actually quite bright. And I've also got this one, actually powers, see that little rainbow thing? I did have it on, but it's too bright. But yeah, it actually powers that. So it doesn't last very long though, but because it gets dark at like 10 o'clock, I don't really need it to be. I'm just putting it because it's too bright otherwise. But yes, just want to show you. I think that's actually quite cool. You can charge up batteries using some sort of, and then I've got the candle ones that I've still been using.